What's going on, guys? Welcome to a tutorial on creating a basic remote access trojan or rat with Metasploit, in particular the MSF Venom tool. The goal of this video is to attack the victim's PC and get remote control to that PC. Just a disclaimer before we get started, I accept no responsibility for any of this knowledge being used for illegal activity. The best way to, if you want to practice this, is to do that on your home network. Just be safe, and if you're going to do this on a friend's network, make sure you get written permission from that friend, proper written permission. Just stay safe with it. Don't do anything stupid. Don't do anything illegal, because I will not help you out with that. That's your problem if you do something stupid, which you shouldn't be doing. So yeah, let's get started. Basically, what we want to do is we want to create an executable file using MSF Venom. Now, you can take this command down if you want, but the basic layout is -p for payload. This is the payload here. If you want to encode it, we're using the Shikata encoder. If you're doing penetration testing, it's not really a good idea to use this encoder because it's very well known, and most antivirus programs will have this in their database. Basically, just use Veil, something like the Veil framework, which you can evade antivirus and intrusion detection systems with. This is the local host, which is your IP address, and then the local port. Now, if you're doing a pen test, setting it to port 80 is not such a good idea because there might be restrictions on port 80, what you can or can't do. -F to specify a format. And then you name the file. If you are taking this down, bear in mind that there are spaces in between, and this is case sensitive. So once that's done, I'm going to hit enter. It'll create the payload. Just bear in mind later on that my system here is very slow. It's potatoing along, working on an upgrade, so don't hate on me for that. So now what we want to do to transfer this is, you can do this in various ways. I'm in my test lab, so I'm just going to start a simple Python web server. This is the syntax: Python tag M, capital S, simple HTTP server, say start, and then you specify what port you want to connect on. You can be any random port, but I'm using 443 just because, I don't know, whatever. So, hang on, what? Oh, you don't say start, my bad. Apologies for that. There we go. Okay. Now, before we get our victim to download it, we have some unfinished business. What you want to do before you start up your Metasploit console, you want to start your Metasploit console, you just want to enable the PostgreSQL service. This is the best practice for Metasploit. Once you're in your Metasploit console, you say use multi/handler. Okay, and then set payload to the payload we're using, which is Windows/Meterpreter, because you want a Meterpreter shell, or session, should I say. Now we just go show options just to see what we can configure. Yeah, forgot the S. Apologies for the background noise. You want to say set lhost or localhost to your IP address. A lot of you are thinking, why am I not censoring out my IP address? Well, that's because it's my internal IP address. As you can see, it's an IPv4 address. If it was my external address, I would censor it, obviously, for privacy reasons. But yeah, if you don't understand what an internal IP address is, go do some research and look it up. 80. These two settings are very important. Your local host and your local port, they have to match with what you specified in MSF Venom. Otherwise, your payload will not work. It's literally that simple. Okay. Exit function. Okay, that's a process. That's fine. Now, before we say run, you want to go to your home directory. Before you even transfer this to your victim, you want to go down to properties and allow the file to be executed as a program. Others can read and write. That's fine. As long as you don't send the payload to me, that's okay. Yeah. So now you wanna, why did I do that? You want to run the listener. And go to your victim. Oh. Okay, well. Oh yes, I had another, I was testing it out earlier with another rat, and it it has the same IP and everything, so just use that one. Okay, so basically what you would do, this cuts out half the fun, is you would go to your victim with your USB stick, and you would say to them, if you're doing a pen test, hey, I have an interview now. Can I quickly please just use your computer for 5 seconds? I just need to print my CV. And you could effectively do it that way, or you could do it the fancy way and incorporate it into your phishing scheme, into a phishing scheme. Okay. To get a Meterpreter shell where it says Meterpreter session 1 opened, what you basically do, say sessions and then the number of that session that you want to interact with. For me, that's 1. So now, basically, we have access to the victim's PC. For this to work, obviously, you would have to run the command on the victim's PC, obviously. I just got lucky with what I was doing earlier, that I already had a rat on there, but I'll show you what I would have done. I would have gone to my Chrome browser, my favorite browser, and then 192, and then there it is, because I've already been here before. And then I named this file run.exe. You can see run.exe is there. What I would have done is downloaded that and then run it Chrome would have picked it up as malicious and blocked it. But if you're using something like Veil, Chrome wouldn't necessarily pick it up unless the way the encryption, obviously something went wrong there and there's a problem, and it sees the binaries or the hex of the file of the rat. Now that we're in Meterpreter, what I want to do, because I mean Mr. Robot and everything and all of that series, where in the first season where he hacks the webcam, I think it's every script kiddie's dream is to get into a webcam. Obviously it's highly illegal if it's someone else's webcam, because you're basically invading their privacy, but this is my webcam, so I can do whatever I want. Now we go web. To do that, you go webcam. To stream, you go webcam underscore stream, and this will take a while because my system is laggy and it hates me. I don't know why. I don't know what I did to it ever, but yeah, you can see it's starting Firefox there. Loaded in half the time as the other one. There we go. You can see this is me. Hello world. Yeah, I'm not going to show you very much because I don't want to give away too much information about myself other than maybe my face. Yeah, so let's just close that. You can see the victim PC's IP address there if you looked closely. Control C out of that. Now what we want to do is start a key scanner. Now key scans is basically like a keylogger. It just logs whatever keystrokes the victim puts into their PC. This is very dangerous and as well very illegal if you're not doing it with proper permissions. Again, be smart with this, guys, please. So yeah, it's starting the keystroke sniffer. Let's go to our victim PC. We can search for notepad. And then we can just type stuff. Lazy. If this was a real case scenario, you'd have something like this. What's a random username? Joe Soap, and then Joey Soap Suds as his password. Then go to your after that, after waiting for a while, you can just go key scan underscore dump, and then you can see the keystrokes here. It's not very clear, but saying I hit a whole lot of shift keys. That's fine. You can basically put this together. Note the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. Then you just scan this quickly, and then here you go, Joe Soap. And you can see your password basically. You can put 2 and 2 together, you get 4. Well done. I don't know why it's doing that. Let's just try that again. Something weird probably went on. Hi there, my friend. Let's just try that. I think it's when I hit enter. Let's just try that on the single line. Oh. Well, I need to start that again for it to work, obviously. Dud moment there. Let's just try that again. Hi there, my friend. Let's go, yeah. Dump the keystrokes. Okay. I don't know what happened. Okay, I think it, yeah, it's not very clear, but whatever. You can see generally what they're typing. If this was a real life scenario, but don't stress about this. If I decide to do a tutorial on keyloggers, we'll cover that. Keyloggers are very powerful. So yeah, I think that's it for this video. Basically, just be careful with this. You're not going to hack very much with it because the Shikata encoder is very well known to antiviruses. Basically, if you haven't updated your antivirus in about 10 years, you'd be vulnerable to this, but otherwise you're fine generally for this, unless you follow really bad security practices. We'll get into other stuff like Veil at a later stage, but this is just proof of concept to learn the basics of Metasploit and Kali Linux. Yeah, so I hope this video was a help, and I think that with MSF Venom and the MSF console, it's one of the best ways to learn Metasploit because you have to jump in between so many different programs. You have to actually stop and think about what you're going to do, what you want to achieve. And yeah, basically a Meterpreter session is very powerful. If you can take one thing away from the video, it's if you get a Meterpreter session, it's basically like the win version of pen testing. So yeah, hope this video was a help. Thanks for watching.